Hi folks. I suppose this video is going to be kind of like my own version of Beyond the Backyard. Jeff, Gundog5 also is a YouTuber, and he has a very good video called Beyond the Backyard, and I'd recommend viewers take a look at that. It's a long video, but it's well worth it. Because we need to discuss, beyond the backyard when it comes to friction fire. And I mean, I've seen a lot of YouTube videos of guys that they learn how they learn the Firebow in their backyard. They got ideal wood, dry, and then they step out into the wilderness out here, and they can't understand why they don't get a cold. Well, it's good to learn in the backyard or anywhere you can, whether you're using hardware materials or whatever. But once you step out into the wilderness, it's you have to change some of your methods. I do. I have to change my methods. Because I'm not dealing with ideal woods, ideal materials out here. It's like I just did a video using Beggars, and I don't know if it's going to come up, if I'm going to put it up or not, but anyway, using Beggars and for a board and horseweed for a spindle. And I've got a helicopter in the background, probably military. But anyway, there's, I'd say that the biggest problem that we run into out here in the wilderness, when we transition from the backyard to the wilderness, and why there's a lot of failure, is moisture in the wood. Plain and simple. And because there's humidity, there's always seems like some degree of moisture in the wood. And I never walk out into the wilderness thinking I'm going to find dry wood. I don't assume that there's dry wood out here. I automatically say, well, it's going to have some moisture in it. So I have to change my methods because of that. And I can dry the wood out several different ways. I can do it by spinning in place and force drying, which is just creating a lot of friction to drive off the moisture and drive the moisture out of the wood. Or I can set it in the sun and the wind and let it dry out naturally. I can take the set, cut it down, maybe stick it up against my belly and let the belly heat dry it out. There's several different ways I can do it. But having said all that, even doing all that, when I come into the wilderness to try friction fire, and I know there's going to be moisture in it, whether I've dried it out or not, I'm going to bow slow and steady, because slow and steady drives this moisture off as I go. And if I didn't do that, I would go through the board faster than I can dry that moisture off, and I'm not going to get a cold. So slow and steady. Conventional wisdom says to bow fast, and that's fine if you have ideal dry wood, and that's right. But out here you don't have that ideal dry wood, because and if you're bowing faster, you get the cold forms faster. But if you got moisture in the wood, that's not going to happen until that moisture gets out of that wood. Friction's gonna that moisture going to prevent the friction buildup in the wood. So that moisture has to be driven off. There's a lot of factors involved in the woods out here, and what we try to do is control what we can. There's no guarantees. Failure is just a part of the game, part of it. One of the other major factors with wood out here in the wilderness, what I consider a major factor, is the density of the wood. It's not so much, the density is related to hard on soft or soft on soft that like you think on your Firebow set, but the kind of density I'm talking about is solid wood, state of decay, the state of decay of the wood, because there's the wood out here is in in many stages of decay. So what I want to do is to find wood as solid as possible. Not always possible to do that. You know, like I said, the materials, you know, beggars can't be choosers. You have to find what you have. And in this case, I had the Beggars, but I wasn't able to find a wider piece, so I have a more narrow board. I don't like narrow boards. I'd like to have it a little wider, but wasn't able to find one. So, you know, I use what I can, what I can find. And anyway, those are some of the main things I wanted to get across. It's just about changing methods when you transition from the backyard to the wilderness. So the only thing I can say is slow and steady on bowing, driving off moisture as I go, rather than going fast, because then I go through the board faster than I can drive the moisture off. So as far as technique goes, really technique isn't as important to me, as long as I'm comfortable. But you know, I may adjust my technique a little bit, but depending on the materials, what's available to me. But anyway, that's kind of what I wanted to get across, was that things are different from the backyard and the wilderness. Namely, the amount of moisture you got to deal with, and the density of the wood. But there are other factors too. But those are the two main ones that cause the biggest problems, as far as I'm concerned. Anyway, I mean. But anyway, thanks for watching.